Happening today, Bernalillo County's district attorney is expected to talk about allegations that she went too far to keep her son out of trouble. The Albuquerque Journal reports an APD investigation found evidence DA Carrie Brandenburg offered to reimburse a couple burglarized by her son if they stayed quiet and did not call police. Now, in the report, detectives say there's probable cause Brandenburg broke the law and forwarded the case to the state attorney general. Brandenburg is holding a press conference today. We will be there and bring you the latest in our later newscast. Now, we reached out to the AG and APD, but have yet to hear back from them. This morning, we're learning there could soon be new money flowing into what many are calling New Mexico's money pit. We're talking about Spaceport America. Virgin Galactic's move to the state was pushed back again, most recently following its deadly test flight in October in California. Now, Virgin Galactic is not expected to move into the spaceport until 2016. That leaves a shortfall in the meantime of about $1.7 million. Spaceport officials say they're now in negotiations with other possible tenants, including Worldview Enterprises, a commercial balloon spaceflight company.
We're, Spaceport America, we're not Virgin Galactic Spaceport. We think there's some other business lines that are very complementary to what we're doing.
Now, if they do not land new money, Spaceport officials are asking for emergency funding from lawmakers. New this morning, APD is investigating a crash involving one of its own. It happened at 98th and Central around 7 last night. Details are slim at this time, but our video shows both cars, including a police cruiser, were banged up pretty good. No word as to who was at fault or if anyone was injured. We expect to learn more about this today, and we'll bring it to you on air and, of course, online. Police still on the hunt for the man who shot a gas station clerk yesterday. They're asking for your help this morning. Police say around 3 yesterday morning, the robber walked into the 7-Eleven store on 12th and Lomas armed with a gun. Police say he then shot the clerk in the chest, grabbed a wad of cash, then took off in a white sedan. Police released this surveillance picture of the suspect, said to be a short and stocky Hispanic man. The clerk is still in critical condition at a local hospital. In our next half hour, we'll tell you how he may be linked to even more violent crimes. This morning, the man accused of luring a teen to an Albuquerque park, then shooting and killing him, is locked up on a hefty bond. Police say 18-year-old Miguel Zapata was with 2 other teens when they killed 19-year-old Nicholas Aragon. Zapata is accused of luring Aragon to Kit Carson Park by texting him and pretending to be a girl. Yesterday, Zapata faced a judge. His family, also in the court, asked the judge for leniency and for his bond to be lowered.
Just wanted to, state for the record, I don't know if it was mentioned that he had turned himself in. He's prepared and ready to face the charges.
The judge said no, leaving Zapata's bond at $500,000. Okay, you've probably noticed gas prices are dropping all around town. Now analysts say there's a good chance they could drop below $2 in New Mexico. On average, gas is now about 50 cents a gallon cheaper in New Mexico than it was a year ago. Some gas stations in Oklahoma and Texas dropped below $2 this past week, the lowest gas prices in the U.S. since 2010. Analysts with Gas Buddies say with New Mexico's low taxes and proximity to the Gulf Coast, it's a good bet some stations here will soon hit that same milestone. People filling up in the metro area say the trend is coming at a great time.
Allows me to have a little more money to spend on the kids this Christmas.
Be able to buy more presents this year.
Of course, that's to be expected. According to AAA today, New Mexico's state average is at $2.50. Albuquerque has one of the cheapest city averages at $2.37. Santa Fe just a penny higher at $2.38. Now, don't expect the low prices to last too far past the holidays, though. Analysts say they will likely rise again early next year. And it is a good thing that gas prices are down. Metro residents are having to drive further to get their ski and snowboard fix, at least for now. Some resorts around the state have been open since Thanksgiving, others just this past weekend. But the one right in our own backyard, Sandia Ski Area, still closed this morning. News 13's Catherine Ozone took a trip up to the ski hill to find out if the recent rain and snow helped at all. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Crystal. Now, for months, folks at Sandia Ski Area have been gearing up for the season. They usually shoot for a December 18th through 20th opening date. But right now, it's the 20th, and for good reason. When we got to the ski area, we found the rental shop bustling with activity. Now, there weren't any customers, of course, but employees were busy tuning skis and testing equipment. Ski area workers say they spent a lot of time and effort this past off-season working on 2 of their main chairlifts. Over the past 2 months, the team focused on readying snowcats and snowmakers. But as you can tell by this video, the ski area has quite a ways to go. The only thing freezing on this mountain right now are the icy patches on the road. But Sandia Ski Area's operations manager says they're optimistic.
We're not that worried yet because of the amount of moisture we've seen this fall and even recently out of this storm. Seeing this much moisture come into the state, it's a good sign for us.
But that moisture isn't the only thing they're waiting on. I'll have that in our next half hour. Crystal, back to you.
All right, thanks for that information, Catherine. Now, 2 other resorts have yet to open for the season as well, Parito and Angel Fire Ski Resort. And here are some helpful holiday shopping tips for you this season. Recent data breaches show cash is probably the safest choice at the checkout counter. But for convenience, credit cards are a better option than debit. If credit card information is stolen or compromised, your liability is lower, whereas a debit card thief could drain your bank account before you even notice. If you pay with a mobile device, experts recommend accessing the web using a 3G or 4G connection rather than an unsecured wireless network. And finally, save records of all of your transactions. Very helpful information there.
This individual has ramped up his actions and now has hurt or shot an individual inside that store.
A convenience store clerk is fighting for his life this morning. The man who shot him on the run and could be linked to more violent crimes in the city. We've been following the story all night and do have more surveillance pictures police want you to take a look at. But first, good morning and welcome to KRQE News 13 this morning. I'm Krista Gutierrez. We want to thank you for joining us on this Monday, December 8th. If you enjoyed the cooler temps, it is a chilly start this morning. Here's meteorologist John Smith.
Yeah, you'll definitely need that jacket as you head out this morning. Temperatures in the Albuquerque metro area already in the upper 30s, and we are going to be looking at temperatures in the single digits for Alamosa, at least for the next hour or so. 21 in Taos, down to the south into the 30s and 40s. Dealing with some visibility issues across the southeast. A quarter-mile visibility in Roswell due to fog. Hobbs up to 6-mile visibility, 9 miles of visibility in Carlsbad. So we are starting to see the visibility improve across the southeast, and that will continue over the next couple of hours, especially after the sun comes up. We are watching for a storm to skim the southern portion of the state through the middle part of the work week, and then a more powerful storm for the weekend. Details on it all coming up.
A 7-Eleven store clerk is in critical condition this morning, just a day after he was shot in the chest by a robber who is now on the run. Take a look at these surveillance pictures. Police say this man walked into the 7-Eleven on Lomas and 12th Street around 3 yesterday morning. They say he pulled out a handgun, shot the store clerk, then grabbed a wad of cash before taking off in a white sedan. Then later that afternoon, APD says there was another armed robbery at the Lowe's convenience store just off of 4th Street. They say surveillance video there shows a man who looked like the 7-Eleven shooter. Police won't say if it's the same guy just yet, but the shooter may be linked to even more crimes.
This individual we're looking at fits the description of prior robberies that have happened in the city in the last couple of months. So he's a person of interest in those robberies also.
And again, police are not saying if the Lowe's robbery and the 7-Eleven robbery are related, but they aren't ruling it out just yet. The 7-Eleven victim is in critical condition this morning. Police say his injuries are so severe the homicide team is now working that case. The person police are looking for is described as a 5'2" Hispanic man with a thin build. He was wearing dark clothing and a red bandana over his face. Surveillance footage shows him taking off in a white car. If you have any information, you're asked to call 242-COPS or call Crime Stoppers. This is not the first violent robbery at this gas station on Lomas and 12th. In 2009, a man tried to steal a bottle of booze. When the clerk tried to stop him, the thief grabbed a piece of firewood and hit the clerk twice. Another clerk was able to stop the robber and held him down until police arrived. The clerk that was hit is okay. Bernalillo County's district attorney is expected to talk today about allegations that she went too far to keep her son out of trouble. The Albuquerque Journal reports an APD investigation found evidence DA Carrie Brandenburg offered to reimburse a couple burglarized by her son if They stayed quiet and did not call police. In the report, detectives say there's probable cause Brandenburg broke the law and forwarded the case to the state attorney general. We reached out to her attorney, the AG, and APD, but have yet to hear back. We'll be at the press conference today and bring you the latest in our later newscast. A scheduled recount to figure out who the state's next land commissioner is supposed to begin today. There were only 704 votes separating incumbent Ray Powell and his Republican challenger Aubrey Dunn. But Powell has asked the Supreme Court to halt that recount. Powell says a recount wouldn't check the accuracy of tabulating machines. Dunn says the process is more accurate than Powell thinks. The recount should take about 2 days. It will cost about $116,000. It's a big moneymaker come winter time, but the weather is not cooperating, at least not yet. We wondered if that could mean the opening date for Sandia ski area will be pushed back. News 13's Catherine Rizone took a trip to Sandia to find out if it will take on, or if its date to open on December 20th will still happen. She's in the Newsplex with more. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Crystal. Now, many ski areas around the state are already getting into the swing of season, while Sandia is waiting for that perfect temperature to start making snow. They say they've spent the last couple of months prepping their snowcats and snowmakers, but before they flip the switch, they say it has to be at least 29 degrees or colder, and not just for a few minutes or even a few hours. Managers at the ski area say they need 29-degree temps for at least 6 hours or more. That's in order to justify starting up the guns and bringing in the staff. So what happens if it doesn't get cold enough long enough in time for opening day? Managers say they'll cross that bridge when they come to it.
Because of our limited snowmaking water that we have, if the weather isn't on our side, we'll just have to postpone until Mother Nature helps out. But we're really hoping that Mother Nature will come through.
And so do we. Now, there are still a few loose ends to tie up, whether there's snow or not, like staffing. Crystal, back to you.
All right, thanks for the information, Catherine. Kuhn says they are holding a job fair this week in the 13th and 14th. For more information, head to our website. That's KRQE.com later on today. The table is set for this year's Gildan New Mexico Bowl, and the winner will hoist one of the most unique trophies in all of college football. It's a trophy with ties to a local couple who know a thing or two about traditional art.
I've been making Zia pottery for 36 years. My mother-in-law had taught me that making a pot is like raising a child.
And if that's the case, then Elizabeth Medina and her husband Marcellus, both of Zia Pueblo, have raised a lot of kids. They've been making by hand the trophy for the New Mexico Bowl since it began in 2006. This year, the University of Texas El Paso will square off against Utah State for the prize. The executive director of the bowl says it isn't gold or silver, but it just is perfect. They wanted to commission a Zia Pueblo artist to make both the trophy and offensive and defensive player awards, since the bowl game incorporates the Zia Sun symbol.
And we thought this just screamed New Mexico in a positive way, just showed off some of the culture, the character of this place, and it's been really, really well received.
Medina's hope to pass on their skill and their tradition to their kids and grandkids. Kickoff for this year's New Mexico Bowl is scheduled for December 20th at 12:20 p.m.